So Gerry, what do you think for all these years serving at our convention?
Well, I got a chance actually to do what I love. There was hard times, there were challenging times, but I loved being a pastor, and I loved working with pastors and leaders across our nation. And I got to spend time with them. I got to see what God was doing with them. I got to see all of Canada, so that you get a perspective that's not just Alberta or Saskatchewan or BC. You get a perspective of the whole nation and what God is doing right across the nation. And so I'm just thankful that I got to do what God made me, how He formed me, what He designed in my life to do, and that was be a pastor and work with pastors. The hardest part of this job was travel. There was a blessing in that because I got to be with people all over Canada, but the tough part was the planes and the hotel rooms and the restaurants where I ate too much or ate the wrong food or all of that. And coupled with that is the fact that you're not home in those critical times when your family actually needs you. It seems like everything that would break down always broke down when I was gone. But even missing JP's hockey games, missing those key events that I had no choice but to miss. But really, it was hard to do that. And I think my family paid a price. Now, Connie made up for it. She just, covered all the bases and did everything that needed to be done to keep this family together. But that was hard. It was hard to be away.
What are you thankful to your family and how they handled this? How they went about it with dad missing in hockey games and special events. What are you thankful for in that area?
Well, we had a little saying in our family, and the saying was that I'm Parliament and Connie is the RCMP. And the way that worked was I would make some rules or laws and pronouncements and then leave town.
Yes.
And she had to enforce them. One of the things that happened as a result of that is when I came home, the kids didn't come to me to ask for anything or permission. They basically went to their mother because she was in charge. She was the RCMP. I was just the Parliament.
Would you say that in order to do this job, you need a wife like the awesome wife you have?
I have an awesome wife, amazing wife. She took charge. She did whatever needed to be done. She used to play hockey with JP on the driveway. She actually had a shovel, and she was the goalie, and he would shoot pucks at her, and she had the shovel to actually stop the pucks. She just went the extra mile over and over and over for my kids and for my family.
And are you happy how your kids handled all this?
Yeah, my kids are amazing. Yeah, they're amazing. And one of the great things about this job is they got to meet so many incredible believers and leaders. And they got to interact with them, and they became our friends. And so it was great in that way for my kids.
What are you really happy and pleased about?
I guess the thing that was so amazing is God just kept giving us more and more talented leaders right across Canada. People, couples that would give their life away, that would sacrifice for the kingdom of God. And we just saw it over and over and over. And of course, for me, the verse that kind of, I think, characterizes my leadership at the CNBC is that unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly beyond what we can ask or think, to him be glory in Jesus Christ and in the church forever and ever. And so what happened was God kept surprising us. God kept doing things that were incredible, things that were better than we could ever expect, better than we could ever think up. God opened doors, and when we went through them under his guidance, then he'd open a whole bunch of new doors. And so it was just neat to follow God. And I need to say that he gave us a great team. People that worked alongside me, much more talented than I am. And God just formed that team. And that team really is to the glory of God.
When I first started out being the wife of the executive director, I was really nervous because my predecessor, Catherine Schmidt, was one of my heroes, and I thought I could never, ever be like her. But Catherine and Joan Bruce both said to me, Connie, just be yourself. And that helped me so much. And I found that the thing that Gerry needed the most from me was someone to listen. Everybody knows that sometimes it can be lonely when you're the head of an organization and you just need somebody to bounce ideas off of. And I mean, I didn't have anything intelligent to say back to him. I just listened. And lucky for him, I don't remember things. So his secrets were safe with me all the time. And so that was probably the biggest thing I did. Was I was just a sounding board for Gerry, and I could listen. And so we talked at home by the fireplace. We talked while Gerry chopped up salad. We talked while we rode up the ski chair to the ski runs. We talked while we sat in the hot tub. We just talked, and it was just so good because that helped me be part of his world, which I'd always been a part of as a pastor's wife, but not so much as an executive director's wife, and it gave him an outlet as well. I'm so thankful for the adventure that Gerry and I have had over the years. Because of his position, I had the incredible joy of traveling with him and visiting all my heroes. The missionaries that are out there, the pastors, the church planters, these people are huge in my heart and in my mind. They're my heroes. And to get the chance to go places and see these people in their own environment and see how they live and what they do and what they endure and how hard they work. And I mean, that was, I think, the most incredible thing.
If you had words for Laura, that Jeff and Laura are starting out now, what would you say to her?
Laura, I would say listen to your husband, which you already do. I don't mean listen if he tells you what to do. I mean be a listening person. And whenever you can, travel with him, because the road is a lonely, lonely place. And I think you can have some great adventures as the two of you go out together and enjoy.
Gerry, what would you say to Jeff?
I would say listen for the voice of God. Stay close to God. Take times to rest, because this job can be really, really wild sometimes. Like it just one event after another, one meeting after another, one traveling thing after another. So take some time to rest and maybe have a kind of a Sabbath every so often with the Lord, where he refreshes you and you get an opportunity to reconnect or to connect in a special way with God.
Awesome.
My husband Jesse and Gerry used to spend time working on Gerry's cars. And Gerry had, I think it was a Honda, that was their family favorite, but it had gone through 3 teenagers. And so when the car wasn't roadworthy anymore, my husband was always looking for a good deal. And so he said, hey, Gerry, can I buy that car? So I think he sold it to him for $500. And Jesse did the body work on it, rebuilt the engine, and one day was driving it, and Gerry said, hey, is that my car? And Jesse said, yeah, it's for sale. Do you want to buy it? How much? $5,000. Okay, sold. And so Gerry sold his car to Jesse, I think for $500, and bought it back for $5,000.
Well, Gerry, as we all know, his brain jumps all over, And we were in one of our leadership meetings one day, and he was about to lay 2 or 3 more items on each one of us team leaders. And Salt Jones, who was a good friend to all of us, Salt just sort of raised his voice, and right in the middle of it, he said, "Hold it, hold it, hold it. Don't lay anything more on me, Gerry, until you tell me what we're going to drop off." And so that was kind of the way we worked with Gerry. You knew that every meeting he's going to have a little bit more to add to your agenda. So all of us knew walking into the room, we may come out of here today being different.
You know, I do the GCO campaign, and I do a slogan every year. And I just had returned from a mission trip to Guatemala, and in Guatemala I took a picture with a chicken in front of me, and I'm like this, holding this chicken, and I put the chicken and I put on the poster, "Don't be a chicken, give and go on mission." And I put the logo CNBC, I printed it, I cut it out, and I said, "Hey Gerry, I got the theme for this year's GCO campaign." And he goes, "Oh great, Caesar, go come to my office and let me show you." And he would always support me and come and see, and I put it on the wall, and he goes, "Oh yeah, you like it? Look, don't be a chicken, go give and go on mission." And he goes, "Oh Caesar, we have to pray about that first. I don't know, people might be offended." And I said to him, "Oh, I already printed everything and I sent the brochures, it's all mailed." And he goes, "Oh Caesar, you should have asked me first." Wow. I'm just joking, Gerry, man. I'm just joking. And he's like, "Caesar, why do you do that? Ha, 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 ha." You know how Gerry laughs. But, you know, Gerry, you always supported with everything that's in this crazy brain. I love this convention, and as I prepared this video of history, I saw my life in how many of these men and women invested in my life. I was born through CNBC, through a church in Toronto, through a pastor, Francisco Aular, a CNBC church that went to Jaden Finch to preach the gospel to me. And now I had the privilege to see all that God has done through our convention, through our churches, and through you, Gerry Taillon, and through Connie, who's an awesome wife. God bless you guys. We'll be praying for you, and enjoy gardening.
I wish I could think of some funny stories, but
No.
you know, some of them, if you weren't there, it's not funny. I remember one time he got mad at us because we didn't water his petunias. And honestly, Caesar, he couldn't hide. Like, he never wanted to be mad at us. But when he came in and saw them, he just said, "Is it, kind of too much to ask you to water them and deadhead them?" And boy, we always did after that. But, so those are the little things. But he was a great boss. And the longer I'm away from that, the more I realize, what I appreciated. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Joan.
Hi, I'm Brielle, Gerry Taillon's granddaughter, aka Papa. One of my favorite times when Papa was telling us an Ernie Boo story, we were going to 7-Eleven and he started telling us, but he almost missed the turnoff. So he had to do this weird thing and try and get into it. And we always tease him about it now.
And does he what sports does Papa like?
I think he likes hockey a lot.
And what's his favorite team?
Montreal Canadiens. When Papa sees the Montreal Canadiens lose, he yells at the screen a lot.
If I were to ask you, what would you like to say to Papa right now that he's retiring and he's gonna, just not work, but maybe gardener and be at home more? What would you say to Papa?
Papa, I would say good luck.
All right. God bless you. God bless you, and thank you for doing this. You did great.